Can you recall what you learned about Black history in school, college, or university? Whether you're referring to prestigious institutions like Oxford, Cambridge, or Stanford, it's a fact that Black history has consistently been censored and omitted from curricula. Why does this happen? Why are significant events that hold great significance for Black culture and its progress suppressed? How is it that those who oppressed Black communities have largely gone unpunished? When individuals within the state itself make concerted efforts to erase this crucial part of history that unites Black communities, Black culture is threatened with fading into obscurity. However, we are committed to preventing this from happening. Welcome to another episode of Black Culture Diary, a platform dedicated to discussing the remarkable ancestors and achievements of Black people who have demonstrated their superiority to everyone else. Here, we delve into history to bring the vibrant tapestry of Black culture to the forefront once more. Now, let's explore the censored Black history that educational institutions have been reluctant to teach, a history that has been meticulously removed from textbooks. You might initially think of figures like Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela, individuals who provided an identity for Black communities. They peacefully united Black people without resorting to violence. These iconic figures are celebrated, but their struggles for Black rights and freedom are well known. However, the Black history we're discussing is a different narrative, one filled with some of the most heinous atrocities, brutalities, and oppressions against Black communities. One crucial aspect often omitted is the Black Panther Party and its movement. This chapter of history has been systematically erased from the books, and even if it is mentioned, it is often misrepresented and distorted, carefully crafted to prevent Black communities from gaining renewed determination to unite. In reality, the Black Panther Party and its historical context are quite different. To understand all the events surrounding its rise, struggles, oppression, and eventual decline, we need to go back to the 1950s. During this time, African Americans were inspired by the civil rights movement, uniting to demand equal rights in education, employment, politics, and the legal system. Figures like Martin Luther King Jr. rose to fight for these rights. However, despite these efforts, police brutality and judicial prejudices against Black communities persisted into the 1960s. The situation became dire enough for Malcolm X to lead Black communities in the noble struggle for equal rights and the freedom to live without fear of oppression. Malcolm X witnessed police injustices against Black people, often resulting in harsh sentences from the courts. The situation was spiraling out of control, with Black individuals facing extreme difficulties in their daily lives. In response, African Americans decided to create a united Black community in Oakland, California. By living in close proximity to each other, they could offer mutual support and care. However, the police force in Oakland was overwhelmingly composed of white officers who sometimes held contempt for the growing Black population, leading to a fragile situation. The turning point came when a San Francisco policeman unjustly murdered an unarmed Black teenager, leaving the Black community in Oakland traumatized and terrified. The influx of police, National Guard troops, artillery, and tanks sent by the US government to suppress any feelings of anger among the Black residents only intensified their fear and humiliation. Blacks were already resentful due to the denial of basic rights and employment opportunities and continued discrimination, even after the Civil Rights Act had been passed. This led to civil disobedience and uprisings, demonstrating that nonviolent resistance, which had been advocated by civil rights leaders, was ineffective in addressing the escalating issues. Black communities were growing increasingly hopeless. In this climate, two Oakland residents, Huey Newton and Bobby Seale, founded the Black Panther Party for self-defense. However, this organization soon evolved into a comprehensive political party and institution. It sought self-defense, equal housing, employment, freedom, and basic rights, significantly improving the lives of countless Black individuals. The Black Panther Party was filling the role that a state should play in protecting its citizens, even though America considered only whites as its citizens. The rise of the Black Panther Party began to unnerve many white individuals and government officials. They realized that if black communities could amass enough power, they would hold those responsible for past atrocities accountable. Consequently, white individuals began to criticize the Black Panther Party, portraying it as violent and murderous, a dangerous organization that should be immediately banned. To reinforce this narrative, it was falsely claimed that the Black Panther Party had killed a white police officer. In reality, the police had shot unarmed Black Panther Party members, killing 2 of them, including Bobby Hutton, who was shot 8 times. However, the courts turned a blind eye to these facts. During this period, every white government official viewed black communities as their enemies to be eliminated by any means necessary. This bias was evident in the functioning of the police and the court system, where justice was rarely served. Despite the fact that the Black Panther Party was actively engaged in its responsibilities, such as running social programs that provided free daily meals to over 30,000 children, the American government and the FBI were critical of these initiatives. They alleged that these social programs were inspired by communism and should, therefore, be prohibited. It seems paradoxical to ban an ideology and its followers while professing belief in the freedom to make choices. America championed capitalism and aimed to promote it, but the reality was that individuals should have the liberty to choose their beliefs, as black communities were doing. To keep tabs on the Black Panther Party, the US government enlisted the FBI to spy on the organization and its members. Bobby Seale, one of the party's co-founders, was also unjustly arrested on fabricated charges in 1968. This arrest, widely perceived as unjust, led to thousands of people taking to the streets of Chicago, where he had been arrested. He was denied the right to have his own lawyer, and when he attempted to speak in court, the judge ordered him to be physically restrained and silenced. He was ultimately sentenced to 4 years in prison. This treatment of black leaders by the judicial system was a reflection of how blacks were generally treated. After spending approximately 21 months in prison, Bobby Seale was released, but by that time, the Black Panther Party had been dissolved. The FBI employed similar unjust tactics against other prominent members of the Black Panther Party, aiming to make their lives so unbearable that they would be compelled to abandon the cause. The Black Panther Party was dismantled, while black individuals continued to face severe police brutality. This was the price they paid for advocating for basic rights and freedom, which white Americans enjoyed without a struggle. It's incomprehensible that the Black Panther Party was subjected to such treatment, resulting in the deaths and torture of hundreds of black individuals. The American government seemingly couldn't tolerate the sight of black communities uniting and embracing the Marxist ideology, which was antithetical to American values. Consequently, blacks were subjected to violence and torture, and this part of history, which bore witness to these events, was suppressed and erased. Why do non-blacks seem reluctant to acknowledge and reveal the extensive oppression faced by a black movement? Is it driven by the fear that if blacks become aware of these events, they will unite and demand their rights? We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Isn't it true that when history is erased, censored, or distorted, people's identities are also impacted? Where would the Black Panther Party be today if it had not been disbanded? If you wish to watch more videos addressing topics that are often overlooked, such as black culture, civilization, history, and the evidence supporting black superiority, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon for notifications. We are committed to shedding light on these important aspects. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for our next video.